Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're stuck waiting on a U.S. visa application or any USCIS decision, I'm sure the last few months or even years have been a test of patience. We all know the frustrating reality: long processing times, endless backlogs, and that feeling of being stuck in limbo with no clear answers in sight. But today, I'm here to bring you the news that could change everything. Real, tangible changes are happening in the U.S. visa system, and these are the updates that could dramatically speed up your immigration process in 2025. That's right, you heard me correctly. The visa game is shifting, and it's shifting in favor of applicants like never before. Now, before you dismiss this as just another New Year, New Changes situation, let me assure you, this is not the same old story. These updates are verified, official, and come directly from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS. No rumors, no empty promises, just cold, hard facts. So, stick with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the major changes happening right now, and I'm going to share 3 game-changing tips that can help you take full advantage of these updates. But before we dive into the details, I want you to pause for a second and think about the journey so far. The stress, the uncertainty, the feeling of being forgotten in the system. If you're anything like most people navigating the U.S. visa process, you've likely felt that weight, waiting months for a work permit or years for a green card approval, your career on hold, your family separated, financial stress building up. These updates could be the turning point you've been waiting for. First, let me take you back. For those of us who have been closely watching the immigration system, you know that backlogs have been a persistent issue for years. Whether you've been applying for a work permit, a green card, or a family reunification visa, delays were the name of the game. The reasons were clear: pandemic-related disruptions, staffing shortages, outdated technology. All of these factors combined to create the perfect storm of delays that left applicants in a constant state of uncertainty. And who can blame them for feeling frustrated? Who can blame you for asking, when will this end? But that's where 2025 is different. Things are finally changing. The USCIS has made strides that we haven't seen in years, and the improvements are real. Let's talk about what exactly is changing and how this can work in your favor. Now, for the first time in a long time, the USCIS is taking action to address these delays head-on. Processing times are finally shrinking, and approvals are coming faster. But it doesn't stop there. The backlog, the ever-growing mountain of applications sitting in limbo, is starting to budge. That's right, folks. The system is starting to move in a positive direction. Let's take a closer look at the work permit process. Work permits, or Employment Authorization Documents, EADs, have been a critical lifeline for thousands of people stuck in the immigration process. If you're waiting for a work permit, you know how crucial this document is. Without it, you can't legally work in the U.S. This means no income, no stability, and even the risk of falling out of status. It's been a nightmare for many people. In the past, applicants were waiting an average of 8 to 12 months for their work permits to be approved, and sometimes it was even longer. The uncertainty caused by these delays was unbearable. People lost their jobs, couldn't support their families, and, at worst, were left in legal limbo, unable to move forward with their lives. But guess what? 2025 is offering hope. Here's what you need to know. USCIS has rolled out major changes to the way it processes these applications, and the results are already showing. Applicants are now getting their work permits approved in as little as 30 to 60 days, and in some cases, under 90 days. That's a far cry from the year-long wait times that we were all too familiar with. Now, you might be wondering, how is this possible? What's changed? Well, USCIS has made several key updates that are designed to accelerate the entire process. First, they've prioritized EAD applications. By doing so, they're ensuring that the applications most crucial to people's ability to work are processed faster. They've also streamlined EAD renewals, and in some cases introduced automatic extensions for certain categories. This alone has drastically reduced the wait times. And that's not all. USCIS has gone digital in 2025, reducing paper-based delays. This means that your forms can be processed more quickly, and USCIS staff can focus on high-priority cases. The use of technology has made a huge impact, cutting down the time it takes to process applications and ensuring that things move smoother than before. Can you imagine? You apply for your work permit, and instead of waiting for a whole year, you're holding that EAD in your hand in just a couple of months. You're able to start your new job, support your family, and regain the stability you've been waiting for. That's not just a dream anymore. It's becoming a reality for many applicants in 2025. Now, let's shift gears and talk about green cards. The ultimate goal for so many of us seeking permanent residency in the U.S. If you've been in the green card process, especially in the family-based or employment-based categories, you know how brutal the wait can be. The green card process has been plagued with a backlog for years, sometimes with wait times stretching into multiple years for interviews, biometrics, or even simple updates. It's frustrating. People felt like they were left hanging with no clear timeline. And here's the kicker. Thousands of green card slots went unused every year, simply because the system couldn't keep up. But the good news is, 2025 is offering a new outlook. The USCIS is using visa numbers more efficiently and coordinating better with the Department of State. This is leading to faster approvals and fewer unused green card slots. Family-based green card applications, especially for spouses and children, are now seeing a dramatic improvement in processing times. For example, what used to take 2 to 3 years is now being processed in 12 to 18 months for certain categories. This might still seem like a long wait, but compared to the previous timeline, this is a massive step forward. Employment-based green cards, especially for skilled workers, are also seeing faster approvals. How is this possible? It's a result of years of hard work, advocacy, and the concerted effort of immigrants, lawyers, and communities who have pushed for change. USCIS has responded by hiring more staff, modernizing their technology, and setting clearer processing goals. For example, certain forms, like the I-131 for travel documents and the I-485 adjustment of status applications, are now hitting internal targets more consistently, reducing the overall wait times for applicants. Now, don't get me wrong, things are still not perfect. The backlog hasn't disappeared entirely, and processing times can still vary depending on where you live or what type of case you have. But the fact that we're seeing real progress finally is a huge win. It means that there's less stress, less waiting, and more opportunities for you to build your life in the United States. And here's why this matters. If you've been stuck in the limbo of immigration, you know how exhausting it can be to wait for years without any real update. Whether you're waiting to start a job, reunite with family, or secure your future, these updates are the first tangible signs that the system is starting to work for us, not against us. So, let me ask you this. Do you want to make sure that these improvements work in your favor? Because there are a few steps you can take right now to maximize the changes happening in 2025. Stay tuned, because coming up, I'll give you 3 actionable steps to ensure that your application is processed smoothly and quickly in this new system. Trust me, these tips will make a big difference in how fast you can get through the process.